a flawless aesthetic, and not one of them had a clue I was sick. It wasn't because I had done such a stellar job at applying my concealer, although that did help. Nobody knew because I had my own notable glam squad helping me maintain my looks during my cancer treatment. I had Ted Gibson telling me how to brush my thinning hair without pulling out additional strands. I had Dr. Brian Cantor, the dentist for 50 Cent, the New York Knicks, and Penelope Cruz, keeping me stocked up on rinses to prevent the mouth sores chemo normally caused. And I had Elle Gerstein, J-Lo's manicurist, giving me tips on how to keep my nails from falling out. For every physical feature that could possibly be affected by cancer treatment, I had an expert in that specialty on speed dial, and I called every one of them. If I hadn't been a beauty director with such incredible sources, I wouldn't have been able to show up at the party looking so good, so normal. Like any good reporter, I had done research before I started treatment, but there wasn't one book, one website, one resource that had all the information I needed on how to maintain my skin, hair, nails, mouth, and even my vajayjay during cancer treatment. For cancer patients, it's often considered taboo to care about your looks when you should be focused on fighting for your life. While it was important to keep perspective on the health goals at hand, looking good, for me, was equally vital to my recovery. It helped me stay positive and focused on living rather than being sick and all the possible negative outcomes that come from it. I can't tell you how many times I faced scrutiny when I would inquire or talk about the aesthetic elements and side effects of my treatment. But why is it so wrong to care? Why are cancer patients made to feel vain if they want their mastectomy reconstruction results to look and feel like real breasts, or ask about losing their hair? The fact of the matter is, beauty treatments are an adjunct therapy to cancer treatments. If you look good, you feel better. Even when I was feeling like shit, if I resembled a hint of my normal self, it helped me get out of bed and power through the day. They say there are more important things in life than beauty and fashion, but I'm here to tell you they are just as important, if not more so, when you're sick. And why should anyone have to choose between their health and their beauty? They shouldn't, and don't have to. The two are not mutually exclusive. Maybe it's because beauty came late in life to me, and I wasn't ready to give it up so fast. Growing up, I was a chubby, redheaded child with a face full of freckles and a precocious personality. By high school, I had discovered my inner rebel, thanks to the Sex Pistols, and I did my best to channel Johnny Rotten with a neon orange, bi-level bob, 10-hole Doc Martens, and ripped clothes held together with safety pins. I also shared his pimply skin problem, too, which didn't win me any boyfriends. By college, Madonna was my idol, so normally push-up bras became my go-to fashion statement. I didn't have the bust for them, but I wore them like they were my job. When I took a gig as a shooter girl doling out shots of tequila and vodka at the Wave, a nightclub in Long Beach Island, bustiers became my uniform. It was then that I realized the power of boobs and fashion. When I graduated, I landed a job as an editorial assistant in a newsroom of my hometown paper. I worked the news desk typing up fire calls, police blotter, and obituaries. While I knew all the juicy scoops in town, I longed for a more glamorous role. On the night J-Lo wore that infamous slit dress to the MTV Music Awards, I scored an interview with the designer, Donatella Versace, and wrote up the story on Deadline. It was selected as the cover. 2 days later, I was promoted to the coveted job of fashion columnist. While I loved fashion, it always felt a bit cliquey to me. If you weren't a size 2 or rolling in money, there were certain things that would always be off limits. But beauty is democratic. Obsessed with Beyoncé's limited edition Chanel bag? Good luck getting one. Love her smoky eyeshadow? The look is easy to achieve by anyone on any budget. When I became a beauty director at a national magazine, I got to interview all the greats in the beauty world. I listened to their tips and their tricks and then put them to work at home. In just a few years, I had transformed into a full-fledged glamour girl, and it was just as I was feeling like I was coming into my own, achieving my potential fabulousness, that I was diagnosed with cancer. Talk about bad timing. For 1 in 8 women who are diagnosed with breast cancer every year, the 1 in 17 women diagnosed with lung cancer, or the 1 in 23 who will be diagnosed with colorectal cancer, most of us don't know how to adjust our beauty routines during treatment, surgery, and life after.